All right. All right. Welcome back, everybody. Glad to be back. Glad to be here for the new year. Hope you guys are excited. Hope you guys all had a good holiday break. We are going to continue on with our adventures in metal fabrication, welding, so on and so forth. Let's see here. Where is it? This morning, you will see that in Google Classroom, I posted a new assignment. Cutting Processes 1, Introduction. Complete the following sections using the Miller Open Book website and complete the questions in the Google Forms, Cutting Processes Introduction. You can see the Google form is right there. It's a short and sweet homework assignment, kind of like our presentation day. It's not going to take us very long, maybe 15 minutes or so. So you guys will have plenty of time to get this assignment done today rather than waiting to the last minute because it is due by midnight Friday. All right, let's go ahead and let's just jump right into it. Cutting processes. By the end of the presentation, we shall be able to identify the plasma arc cutting components, identify advantages and disadvantages of oxy-fuel cutting and plasma arc cutting. So what is oxy-fuel cutting, or OFC? It is a process requiring high purity oxygen and fuel gas, usually supplied in high pressure compressed gas cylinders, that severs or removes metals by the chemical reaction of oxidation or burning. What is plasma arc cutting, or PAC? The PAC process uses an electrical arc to heat gas temperatures up to 30,000 degrees Fahrenheit. The atoms within the arc are ionized, enabling it to conduct electrically and sever metal by using a constricted arc to melt a small area of work. The oxy-fuel cutting process severs or removes metal by the chemical reaction of oxidation or burning. This occurs when pure oxygen is applied to the hot, preheated metal. The metal is maintained at elevated temperatures with the flame from the burning oxy-fuel gas mixture. The oxy-fuel process requires high purity oxygen and fuel gas, which comprises an explosive fuel gas mixture. The oxygen and fuel gases are usually supplied in high pressure compressed gas cylinders. The plasma arc cutting process uses a high temperature, constricted, high velocity jet of ionized gas exiting the orifice of the torch tip to melt a very constricted area. The force of the plasma jet pushes the molten metal through the workpiece and severs the material. Extremely clean and accurate cuts are possible with plasma arc cutting. Because of the tightly focused heat energy, there is very little warping, even when cutting thin gauge sheet metal. Plasma arc cutting also offers quality gouging and piercing capabilities.
Plasma arc cutting was developed during the 1950s when researchers found that reducing the size of the gas nozzle in a TIG torch greatly altered its arc properties. In much the same way an arc is created in TIG welding, a cutting arc is created between an electrode in the plasma torch and the workpiece.
Experiments with plasma arc date back to the early 20th century, but it was in the 1950s when plasma arc cutting torches were introduced to the market. The four states in which physical matter may exist are solid, liquid, gas, and plasma. Changes from one physical state to another occur by either supplying or subtracting energy in the form of heat. Water, in the solid state, is ice at temperatures of 32 degrees Fahrenheit or colder. With the addition of heat, the ice melts and changes to water, the liquid state. The addition of more heat to temperatures of 212 degrees Fahrenheit or hotter converts this liquid to its gaseous state, steam. The fourth state of matter, plasma, looks and behaves like a high temperature gas, but with an important difference: it conducts electricity. The plasma arc is the result of the electrical arc heating gas to a very high temperature so that its atoms are ionized, which ionizing is an electrically charged gas due to an unequal number of electrons to protons, and enabling it to conduct electricity. The major difference between a neutral gas and plasma is that the particles in plasma cannot exert electromagnetic forces on one another. If you happen to be reading this by the light emitted by a fluorescent lamp, you can see plasma in action. Within the glowing tube of the lamp is plasma consisting of low-pressure mercury or sodium vapor, ionized by high voltage across the electrodes at the ends of the tube. As the plasma conducts an electric current, it radiates, which in turn causes the phosphor coating on the inner surface of the tube to glow. The plasma arc torch has a space surrounding the electrode inside of the torch tip or nozzle. It is in this plenum or chamber that the plasma gas is heated and ionized. The plasma gas exits the constricting orifice of the torch nozzle or tip at very high speeds and temperatures up to 30,000 degrees Fahrenheit and at 20,000 feet per second. The intensity and velocity of the plasma is determined by several variables, including the type of gas, its pressure and volume, the flow pattern, and the amount of electric current, the size and shape of the constricting tip or nozzle, and the tip to work distance. The plasma arc cutting process uses this high temperature constricted high velocity jet of ionized gas exiting the orifice of the torch tip to melt a very restricted area. Because of this tightly focused heat energy, there's very little warping even when cutting thin gauge sheet metal.
Plasma arc cutting delivers a clean, precise cut, reducing post-cutting preparation for welding or other fabrication processes.
All right, oxy-fuel cutting. Where plasma arc cutting uses an electric arc to cut metal, the oxy-fuel flame is different because it uses, well, instead of electricity, oxygen and a fuel gas. Now, in an oxy-fuel cutting system, there are typically three types of flames that we are going to come across. The first is the neutral flame. A neutral flame has a perfect one-to-one fuel to oxygen mixture. So that's this one in here. That's the one we are usually aiming for whenever we are using an oxy-fuel system, is a nice neutral flame. Another type of flame that you might come across using an oxy-fuel system is a carburizing flame. This is where excessive amounts of fuel are used. Instead of that one-to-one ratio, we now have more fuel than what we do oxygen. And this can add carbon to the surface of the material that we are working with. Another type of flame that we may have come across is an oxidizing flame. This is where excessive amounts of oxygen in ratio to the level of fuel can lead to oxidation of the metal base. Basically, neutral flame has an equal amount of gas and oxygen. A carburizing flame has more fuel than oxygen, and an oxidizing flame has more oxygen than fuel. Adjusting the oxy-fuel flame is a critical variable where with a plasma arc, merely the amperage could be adjusted to optimize the cut quality and consumable wear. The neutral flame of an oxy-fuel flame is about 5,600 degrees Fahrenheit. This neutral flame is used to preheat the base metal, allowing a pure stream of oxygen to rapidly oxidize the carbon steel below. Before the plasma arc process became commonplace, if you wanted to cut carbon steel, stainless steel, or aluminum, you would likely use several methods. Perhaps you would likely use oxy-fuel gas flame cutting for steel, but that process is not recommended for cutting stainless steel and aluminum. With engineering advances in plasma arc cutting equipment, all metals that conduct electricity, whether they are common or exotic metals, can be cut economically with one process. Since the plasma arc cutting process is capable of handheld or machine torch cutting metals ranging from thin gauge aluminum to 2-inch thick carbon or stainless steel, it can be used in many applications. The advantage of the oxy-fuel cutting system is the capability of cutting up to 7 feet thick steel with relatively inexpensive equipment requiring no electricity. Besides faster cutting speeds, a major advantage of plasma arc is that it requires no preheating of the metal like the oxy-fuel process. The clean, dross-free cut produced with the PAC process, with the plasma arc process, can eliminate the secondary operations of other cutting methods, such as cleaning up rough edges and dross on the bottom or backside of the cut. Payback per cut with plasma arc can be better with compressed air or nitrogen than oxy-fuel gas and other cutting methods. So it's cheaper to run the plasma arc process than it is the oxy-fuel process. The initial cost of the plasma arc equipment may be greater than other cutting methods, but the ease of operation and the cutting speed will often make the equipment pay for itself. When compared to oxy-fuel, plasma arc in some areas will not be as portable due to its dependence on primary electrical power from a utility line or engine-driven generator. Some disadvantages of oxy-fuel: limited to cutting of steel and cast iron. Stainless steel has deoxidizing elements that significantly hinder the oxidation of iron, resulting in high difficulty to cut. Distortion can be a result from the preheating. We do end up with a wide heat affected zone with oxy-fuel, which can cause the chemical composition of the steel to change. Training and experience required to achieve quality cuts. And acetylene is an unstable and shock sensitive. Pressure should not exceed 15 psi. We talked about that a little bit in our demonstration that we did before the holiday break.